Hey yo, E-King Fight News. Anthony A.J. Joshua looks like he's finally stepping up to try and make this Wilder fight a reality. This is what he had to say about Alexander Povetkin. More on this, guys. E-King Fight News. Okay, so if you don't know by now, the WBA ordered a mandatory for Anthony Joshua, which is to fight Alexander Povetkin, I think it was by the end of September or some shit. So, what's going on right now is Joshua and Wilder are supposed to be negotiating to the point where Eddie Hearn has an offer for Deontay Wilder, and it's going to be for an Anthony Joshua fight. And now, credit to Anthony Joshua. Here's the headline, World Boxing News. Joshua dismisses Povetkin, wants WBA mandatory delay as the Wilder offer is prepared. So Anthony Joshua says he's not going to entertain a fight between Alexander Povetkin, despite the Russian being offered as his mandatory. What? For real? I would be surprised. I would be surprised if that statement is true. I mean, I'm hearing it from Joshua, but he also said he didn't want Wilder in the ring, and then that led to a backlash of Wilder potentially having Joshua scared, and now it looks like Joshua is trying to overcompensate and prove he's not scared, and he's just gonna say, "Fuck it, let's make this fight happen." So, at the end of the day, it's all good if we see the fight. For the undisputed heavyweight, Joshua has been claiming that his goal is the same, means the same end as Deontay Wilder's goal. Both of them want to be undisputed heavyweight champion of the world. If that's the case, there's no getting around it. You got to fight each other, right? At the end of the day, both of these guys want to prove they're the best. And it's about time that the welterweights show that kind of desire. I'm talking about all of them. Specifically Keith Thurman. Specifically Danny Garcia. Specifically Sean Porter. But it goes on and on. Specifically Gennady Golovkin, Triple G. Specifically, these guys, it's time to prove you're the best. Okay, get out the way. Because, I ain't trying to rhyme it up, but it just is what it is, It just is what it is. And Anthony Joshua is not going to entertain the Povetkin? For real? For real? Okay, let's check this out. The WBA stipulated Joshua has to fight Povetkin by September 1st. Has to agree to fight. Okay, by September 1st. Yeah, he's got some time. He's got like 5 months to figure that shit out. So that's fuck, man. You better for that, until September 1st. Interesting. And Joshua said, "I want that fight, no doubt about it. He was very vocal about wanting to fight before I was, because my objective was to accumulate every single one of the belts. Now I have done that. Wilder's my 100% attention. We're about to make another offer to Wilder's team, a very good offer that could create a lot of interest." Okay, so that's the same thing that was reported on Boxing Scene. So pretty much, Anthony Joshua is basically telling the media we're about to offer something substantial to Deontay Wilder, right? Something he would consider a good offer. So we'll see. We're just gonna have to wait and see. Now we're just gonna have to wait and see, and eventually something will be leaked about this shit. Like, we're gonna find out, like, what if this is legit or if it's just for media. Because Because normally, fighters don't talk this much in the media about, the fight legitimately happening, to the point where these negotiations have basically been through the media, like in a weird way. And now, we're at the point where, finally, this negotiating period, could end, potentially, if this offer comes through and we get the Deontay Wilder Anthony Joshua fight. But there's no new news here, other than Joshua is not looking at Alexander Povetkin as a future opponent, and he would rather fight Wilder. There's a chance that Povetkin looked too good against David Price, even though he got stunned. There's a chance he kind of looked too good and he knocked Price smooth the fuck out. And maybe just maybe Eddie Hearn's looking at that and saying maybe that's too risky. Or maybe I could be totally wrong, but that thought just came to mind. Yeah. It's possible Alexander Povetkin looked too good, knocking, David Price spark out. But, Deontay Wilder, at the same time, that fight is the biggest fight in boxing. And it's time to make that happen. I think there's a point where Eddie Hearn said to himself, there's no point in stalling this out. There's no point. It's too risky. It's time to cash in on the biggest fight in boxing, Joshua versus Wilder. And if it does happen, it will be the biggest fight in boxing. So I think the pay-per-views will reflect that. Right? It's the heavyweights are back. That's what it's all about. I definitely want to see this fight. No doubt about it. Would I pay a pay-per-view to see this fight? Would I personally do it? I don't know. If I would. It is the biggest fight in boxing, but I don't even have a fucking TV, man. Again, it's kind of hard to buy pay-per-view. You don't have a TV. I was gonna just say, nah, man. I stream the hell out of everything. Even you could stream in HD quality if you wanted to. There are ways to do it. It's crazy, but that is what it is. I mean, if you haven't figured it out by now, you don't have to pay for anything. When it comes to TV, you don't have to pay for anything. That's just the truth. So once you've realized that, and then paying for something becomes unnecessary. I'm just saying. So that's why I wouldn't buy a pay-per-view, because, damn, the last pay-per-view I bought, no lie, was Canelo versus Floyd. I bought that fight, and that's probably the only fight I bought in a long fucking time. Canelo versus Floyd, #1. Anyways, E-King Fight News. Smash the like button, subscribe to the channel. Y'all know what it is, man.